Picture the scene. It is 7:30 in the morning. The sun is just beginning to bleed over the horizon, casting a long, pale amber light across the highway. You are sitting in a box of steel and glass, surrounded by thousands of other people in identical boxes, all moving in a slow, rhythmic sluggishness toward a destination that none of you truly want to reach. The air conditioning is humming a soft, artificial breeze against your face. The leather of the steering wheel feels premium, cool, and textured under your grip. The dashboard is a constellation of digital displays, glowing with the promise of technology, safety, and status. Take a deep breath. Inhale that scent. You know the one. It is chemically engineered, a specific cocktail of volatile organic compounds designed to trigger a dopamine response in your brain. It is the new car smell. It smells like success. It smells like you have made it. It smells like the American dream realized in tangible form. But if you look closer, if you strip away the marketing and the social conditioning, that smell changes. It starts to smell like something else entirely. It smells like fear. It smells like stagnation. It smells like the iron shackles of a modern, invisible prison. There is a single payment leaving your bank account every 30 days that is single-handedly destroying your financial future. It is not your mortgage. A house, at least, is an asset that appreciates over time. It is not your student loans, though those are burdensome. They at least bought you an education. It is not your credit card bill for last night's dinner. It is the car payment. This is the silent killer of wealth. It is the one financial decision that keeps the middle class running on a hamster wheel, sweating and sprinting, yet never actually moving forward. We need to dissect this, not just as a financial error, but as a cinematic tragedy, because that is exactly what it is. It is a tragedy of misplaced priorities and misunderstood mathematics. Let's look at the reality of the average person. You work hard. You trade your hours, your life force, and your creativity for a paycheck. And the moment you get a raise, the moment you feel a little bit of breathing room in your chest, what does society tell you to do? What does the television, the billboard, and the neighbor tell you to do? They tell you to upgrade your ride. You walk into the dealership. The floor is polished white tile, reflecting the overhead halogens like a mirror. The cars are positioned like sculptures in a museum. A salesman approaches you, smiling a smile that doesn't quite reach his eyes. He is not there to help you build wealth. He is there to extract it. He asks you the most dangerous question in the history of personal finance. He does not ask, what is the price of the car? He asks, how much do you want to pay per month? In that moment, the trap snaps shut.
When you focus on the monthly payment, you become blind to the total cost. You become blind to the interest rate. You become blind to the term length. Suddenly, a $70,000 liability looks like a manageable $700 problem. But it isn't a problem you solve once. It is a subscription to servitude that lasts for 72, 84, or even 96 months. That is 8 years of your life. Let's visualize the money. Imagine your paycheck as a stream of water flowing into a bucket. That bucket is your life, your security, your freedom. But there is a hole in the bottom of the bucket, a massive, gaping hole. That hole is your car payment. Every month, $700, $800, maybe $1,000 pours right out of that hole and vanishes into the ether. Where does it go? It goes into a depreciating asset. This is the crux of the horror story. Unlike real estate, unlike stocks, unlike gold, a car is guaranteed to lose value. It is a mathematical certainty. The moment you drive that shiny metal box off the lot, thousands of dollars incinerate instantly. It is like setting a pile of cash on fire just to warm your hands for a few minutes. Over 5 years, that car will lose 60% of its value. You are paying interest to the bank for the privilege of owning something that is actively becoming worthless. You are paying the bank to become poorer. It is a double-edged sword that cuts you coming and going. You lose on the interest payments and you lose on the asset value. But the tragedy is deeper than just the money you lose. It is about the money you didn't make. This is the concept of opportunity cost, the ghost of the wealth you could have had. Let's paint a different picture. Let's strip away the leather seats and the sunroof for a moment. Let's say instead of that $700 monthly payment for a new SUV, you drove a reliable, paid-off used car. It's 5 years old. It doesn't turn heads at the intersection. The paint has a small scratch on the bumper, but it runs. Now, take that $700 a month. Imagine it as seeds, golden seeds. Every month, instead of giving those seeds to the bank, you plant them in the fertile soil of the stock market, a low-cost index fund that tracks the biggest companies in the world. You water it with consistency, you let the sun of compound interest shine on it. If you invested that car payment of $700 a month for 40 years, assuming an average market return, do you know what you would have? You wouldn't have a rusted-out SUV in a junkyard. You would have nearly $4 million. Let that sink in. The silence in the room should be deafening right now. $4 million.
That creates a startling realization. You are not driving a car. You are driving your retirement. You are driving your financial freedom. You are driving your children's inheritance. And you are driving it straight into the ground, mile by mile, watching it turn into dust and exhaust fumes. Why do we do this? If the math is so simple, if the destruction of wealth is so obvious, why does almost everyone you know have a car payment? Because we are social animals and we are insecure. We live in a society that judges our worth by the visible artifacts of our spending. We cannot see your bank account. We cannot see your investment portfolio. We cannot see your 401k. Those things are invisible, but we can see your car. The car has become the ultimate avatar of the fake rich. It is the easiest way to scream to the world, "I am doing well," without actually doing well. It is a costume. You put on the costume of a wealthy person by signing a loan document, but in doing so, you ensure you never actually become a wealthy person. It creates a paradox. The people you see driving the $80,000 trucks and the luxury German sedans often have less actual net worth than the guy driving the 10-year-old Honda Civic. The guy in the Honda isn't making payments. He is buying freedom. He is buying options. He is buying the ability to quit a job he hates, to start a business, to travel, to sleep soundly at night without the crushing weight of debt on his chest. The car payment is the chain that binds you to your employer. When you owe the bank $1,000 a month for 2 cars in the driveway, you cannot take risks. You cannot speak your mind. You have to endure the toxic boss, the long hours, the soul-crushing commute, because you have to feed the beast in the driveway. You are not free. You are an indentured servant to a piece of metal and plastic. Let's go deeper into the psychology of the dealership, the scene of the crime. They know you better than you know yourself. They know that when you sit in that car, your logical brain shuts down and your emotional brain takes over. They talk about safety features to trigger your protective instincts for your family. They talk about styling to trigger your need for status. They make you wait in the lobby to wear down your resistance. And then comes the financing office. This is the dungeon. The finance manager is the final boss. He will offer you extended warranties, paint protection, gap insurance. He will stretch the loan from 60 months to 84 months to lower the payment, hiding the fact that you will be paying thousands more in interest. He will make you feel like you are getting a deal while he picks your pocket. And you sign. You sign because you are tired. You sign because you want the shiny toy. You sign because you believe the lie that you deserve this. I work hard, you tell yourself. I deserve a nice car.
You do work hard. That is exactly why you don't deserve to be ripped off. You deserve to keep the fruits of your labor. You deserve to have money in the bank. You deserve to walk into a room and know that you own your life, not the bank. True self-care is not buying a luxury car. True self-care is financial solvency. So how do we break this cinematic nightmare? How do we rewrite the script of your life? It requires a radical shift in perspective. It requires you to stop caring what other people think. It requires you to look at a car for what it actually is, a tool. It is a utility. It is an appliance like a refrigerator or a washing machine. Its only purpose is to move your physical body from point A to point B safely and reliably. That is it. It does not define your soul. It does not determine your value as a human being. Imagine a different morning. The sun is rising again, casting that same pale amber light. But this time, the script is different. You walk out to your driveway. There sits a modest car. It's 5 years old, maybe 6. You bought it with cash, or you paid it off aggressively in 12 months. It is yours. The title is in your desk drawer, not in a bank vault. You get in. It starts perfectly. The air conditioning works. The music plays. But there is a different feeling in the air. It isn't the smell of new leather. It is the smell of freedom. You drive to work, not because you have to make a payment, but because you choose to be there. Or maybe you don't drive to work at all. Maybe you drive to the park. Maybe you drive to the airport. Because that $700 a month you saved, it has been compounding. It has been growing. It has become a shield that protects you from the hardships of life. You look at the other cars on the highway, the shiny new models with the temporary tax, and you don't feel envy. You feel pity. You see the invisible chains connected to their bumpers, dragging them down. You see the stress lines on the drivers' faces. You realize that you have opted out of the matrix. This is the path of the minority. It is the path of the wealthy. If you study the true millionaires next door, the people who have actually built sustainable wealth, you will rarely find them leasing brand new luxury cars every 3 years. You will find them in Toyotas, Fords, and Hondas that they keep for 10 years. They understand the game. They know that looking rich is the enemy of being rich. This one payment, this car payment, is the gatekeeper. It stands between you and the life you want. It is a test. It is a test of your discipline, your ego, and your ability to do simple math in a world of complex marketing. If you can conquer this, if you can resist the siren song of the dealership, you win. You unlock the capital required to invest. You unlock the cash flow required to live. You stop bleeding out financially and start building muscle. So look at your driveway. Look at that metal box sitting there. Ask yourself, is this a vehicle or is it a vampire? Is it moving you forward on the road or is it holding you back in life? The choice is yours to make. But make no mistake, it is a choice. You are not a victim of the system unless you choose to play by its rules. You can flip the table. You can drive the old car. You can stack the cash. You can reclaim your freedom, 1 month at a time, until the only thing accelerating is your net worth. The light is green. The road is open. But you have to drop the heavy cargo to pick up speed. Don't let a piece of painted steel steal your future. Your freedom is worth more than their approval. Drive free. If you are ready to cut the chains, if you are ready to see the world through the lens of ownership rather than obligation, then this is just the beginning of the story. There are more traps to dismantle, more illusions to shatter, and more wealth to be claimed. Join us as we rewrite the script of the modern financial life. Subscribe to the channel. Let's build something real.